and Jesse Palmer. Guys, let's get this thing rolling. Clemson will kick off to get us underway. And it'll come out to the 25. No attempt at a return. This place is roaring, and it's going to be so hard to operate under these conditions. Looking downfield, it's Coleman. The quick out. And he goes out of bounds after a nice pickup on that one.
I love the anticipation on that throw by the QB on the out route. You got to throw it before the receiver comes out of his break. Nice work.
This crowd trying to make life miserable for this offense. Back to pass. Zings it complete to the right. And they pick up just a few on that completion.
Really good offenses are able to attack short. You've got to be able to attack the whole field to make you honor that underneath part, then the intermediate part, and then you take shots down the field. This will loosen up some shots for later in the game.
Beneath the shadow of Howard's Rock, Death Valley is rocking, trying to help the Tigers on third down. Quarterback touch pass on the jet sweep. He works his way across the 40-yard line. They'll mark him out of bounds at the 41.
And just went with something very easy, very reliable. Flip it forward, let your receiver do the rest. I only got to get a few yards. Nice job, nice execution. First down.
And the Razorbacks have it with a 1st and 10. Wants to throw on first down. And that incomplete pass caused by the big hit on first down. Second down coming.
And the big tight end, a lot of times that's a bigger strike zone, a bigger dude, and you could tell they put the hit on him, and that ball came out, and it came to the turf. Nice job playing.
There he goes.
Man, it's easy to call plays when you're getting 5 or 6 yards of pop on the ground. Like, why would I get complicated? Why would I get complex? Like, up front right now, this group just win, fall forward, get that good game, stay ahead of the sticks, don't have to get in bad situations. This defense better respond, or else I'll do that all the way down the field.
Putting together a real scoring threat here as they pick up the first down at the 36.
The speed of these quarterbacks have just gotten insane. Week in and week out, you're facing so many guys that can just pick them up and put them down and chew up 15 yards like it's nothing.
And they can make the throws, too. We call them dual threats, but really you have to be able to do both in this era of football.
Yeah, and it used to be one or the other. You had a guy that could really, really run. You had a guy that could throw. Now, they're all packaged into one, and it's just, man, it's a headache.
This is what's so hard as a defense trying to stop this dual-threat quarterback, because on the previous play, he hurt you with his arm, and then on this one, he hurts you with his feet. They're going to have to do a better job of getting pressure on him, making him get rid of the football or go down with it, because his speed and his arm talent right now is a problem.
They'll come to the line for the 8th snap on this opening drive, facing a 3rd and short. Looking for a man, it's Coleman. Picked off, and the opening drive is stopped with an interception. He's knocked down, but what a play to come up with the interception. Looking to throw on first down. Going to try to get it himself. And he was fortunate not to lose yardage on that play, able to wedge it back to the line of scrimmage.
Really good job by the defense getting to the quarterback and getting him on the ground for no gain. It's tough. Once you get there and get pressure, it's so hard to get these guys on the ground because they're elusive. Really good job wrapping them up and getting to the ground.
Nowhere close on that one as he got drilled trying to deliver the football, and now they face third down.
Well, man, this quarterback is fast. You saw that on his ability to scramble around, but he wasn't fast enough to outrun that hit, and it was the hit that caused the incompletion.
Quarterback adjusting the pattern. On third down, he'll try to pick it up through the air. Got his man in the middle. They'll make the stop about a yard short of the first down. So the last thing you want to do is start the game, first drive, go 3 and out. They won't do that here. They might go 4 and out. Big tight end makes the grab, first down, still on his feet. Flying down the right side. And he ran away from the crowd, and he'll take it in. Touchdown, Tigers!
This is a special talent playing the tight end position because he's not a guy that's just going to catch flat routes and block. He's a guy you can line up all over the field. He can stretch the field vertically, shows off his speed. He has very rare athleticism for a guy at his position, and he showed it there on that long touchdown catch.
Looks as if the returner will try and field this one. He was hoping for something a little more dynamic, but they get him on the ground at the 20. And Arkansas ready to send out this offense. Boy, they had that last drive moving a little bit, David, but then the mistake just crushed them.
Yeah, and those mistakes are going to happen. You're going to throw the...
It's a seam wide open, and they don't drag him down until he gets all the way to the 46-yard line.
They get a huge gain on that toss play, and this running back, when he's got the ball in space, watch out. You see when he's out in the perimeter of the field, he's able to pick his spots. He can make people miss. He's got a bevy of moves. Way to generate the explosive play.
The Razorbacks, after ripping off that huge run, let's see if they can do it again. Back to throw, it's Coleman. Unloads to the wideout. Working that left side. What a throw! Not a lot of room. He fits it in beautifully, and they've got it at the 30. This proficiency in the passing game can take you back to yesteryear, one of the great quarterbacks in Arkansas history, in Joe Ferguson.
Yeah, just slinging the pill. Just being able to provide balance, being able to attack down the field, get people out of the box, and not be predictable.
Football season. Ranked team against unranked opponent, and we'll see if the upset can shake up the rankings in this one. Welcome to the home of the Clemson Tigers, Death Valley in Clemson, South Carolina. As we'll see a team looking for its first win, the Arkansas Razorbacks, taking on last year's national champions, the Clemson Tigers. For EA Sports College Football, I'm Reese Davis, David Pollack, and Jesse Palmer with me. Guys, it's time to get it going. Razorbacks will get us started with the opening kickoff. That one bounds through the end zone, and it'll be a touchback. to pass. On the run, fires downfield. Finds his man. It's Jefferson. Ripping off a pretty good chunk of yardage. They've got it out to the 41 with a first down. The give to the running back from the shotgun. Didn't get much done on that run. He'll fight his way out and maybe pick up a yard. To the air on second down. Looking for a deep man. He holds it in and nobody's close. Touchdown, Tiger. And once he found open space, the band might as well start playing.
Man, oh man, when you got a weapon like that, you got to find him and you got to give him the ball in space. You have some plays on your play sheet, and some of them just say, that guy, get him the ball, let him do the rest. Dangerous weapon out of the backfield, catching the football, making the big play.
And no chance at a return here. They'll start this drive at their own 25. This is what we expected. This crowd ready to make its presence known. They'll crank up this drive with the pass. Quarterback moving out of the pocket. Stopped him at the 41, but that's a big pickup of 15.
And defensively, you've got to know this guy, man. He's got some wheels to him. He'll get outside the pocket. You can't let him outside the cage. Those ends have to do a good job of keeping contained. When you lose it, this is what happens. He can get outside, can scramble, and can get first downs.
Looking to throw on first down. Rushes on him. Man, did he pay for it with that hit as he got rid of the ball.
Quarterbacks talk about it all the time. They love the clean pocket where they can step up, throw the football. That is not what they had. Nice job by the defense, beating the offensive line, disrupting the timing, and getting a nice clean hit on the quarterback.
Creating some space, getting just enough good blocking, and they've got it up to the 47-yard line.
And you're seeing his dynamic ability to run the football that time on the option play. I know he doesn't pick up the first down, but that's still a good chunk of yardage, and the defense wasn't ready for it. Moving forward, expect the offense to go back to the option play again and see if someone will finally take the quarterback and force him to pitch it.
To throw, it's Coleman. And a missed opportunity on third down as the defense knocks it free, and fourth down is coming up. The Razorbacks will send out the punt unit. First time we've seen their punt team tonight. Boy, they had a chance to track that thing down, but it bounces into the end zone for a touchback. Clemson ready to dial up some ball plays. They've got it on offense. Already a solid start to this one. Now back to work with this 7-0 lead. Quarterback just flat missed it. Incomplete.
That's a ball that this offense should be able to complete. They had the coverage they wanted. Receiver ran on the route. Just an inaccurate throw by the quarterback.
Misfired on the last play. They'll go back to the air. Under fire. Crosses the 30. He's got a lane. He gets the job done. Picking up the first down, then getting down.
Yeah, I think you're just seeing the experience this guy has, right? He's so poised that initially he's flushed out of the pocket, nothing's open, and he doesn't panic. He's not throwing it away. He's not sliding early. He just knows where the defense isn't, and he's able to attack that space with his speed and get a positive play.
A really nice run and gain, and he gets down to avoid taking punishment. And the Tigers have it with a 1st and 10. To the air on first down. Here comes the heat. Got it behind the line. It's Cheek. And maybe he'll get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that.
Yeah, and the linebacker did a great job understanding. The running back slips out. He expands with him. And how about making a tackle in the open field? Linebacker on running back. You don't always want that situation, that matchup, but the defense won that one.
Wants to fire on second down. And that one's incomplete.
And I think on that last play, that's an example of the quarterback trying to predetermine who he wants to throw to, and instead of letting the defense dictate who gets the ball. Man coverage, that guy was not open that time out on the perimeter of the field. Still, he gave him a chance, but That thing had incompletion written all over it from the moment the ball left his hand.
He is stopped at the 47-yard line, and that's not nearly enough to move the chains. So Clemson is lining up to punt this one away. He ought to be able to use this first punt to pin him deep. Couldn't get away from that cover team, and they've got him down at the 23. The Hogs send that offense back onto the field. Finding themselves down 7-0, they'd love to get a drive going here. He's going to lose a yard on that one.
You know when you're playing against a defense of this caliber, you're going to have some sort of balance, right? You can't just drop back and throw it every single play. Nothing going on that last run. They're going to have to find another way to get it going and handing the ball.
Back to pass, it's Coleman. And the quarterback called up to and sacked at the 12. And that Clemson defensive front getting their paws on dudes and making their presence felt.
And, Reese, that's how they built their dynasty. I mean, I know the offense was flash and sizzle and was really good, but, man, it's the Dexter Lawrence and the Christian Wilkins in the defensive front. Those big boys that could get after the quarterback, that played relentless. Those guys really set the tone and set the...
Going for the big play. Fires into traffic. Intercepted.
And that is elite third down defense. First of all, you get him in third and long, and then you look to the go-to guy. Jesse, I am committing my resources to him because I know he's a freak, and I know you as a quarterback, you're trying to...
He unleashes a long one. That one falls incomplete, trying to get a chunk play on that one.
Well, even though that was an incompletion, I wouldn't be surprised if this secondary wants to start playing deeper coverages, because this offense has shown that they're willing to be aggressive. They've got a lot of speed. This defense cannot allow any big plays here in the second half.
This time he's got it. Gets it all the way down to the 39-yard line. It'll be a first down.
Nice job by the quarterback, seeing the receiver come open, getting him the football, making the first down, and they like to do this. When they make a first down, they want to go fast. They want to crank up the tempo.
Finally corralled, but not before. He picks up the first down.
What a start for this offense throwing the ball. I love how they've come out in this game, and they've been aggressive. They've already scored a touchdown, and here they are taking another shot and getting a big play. If you're on deep...
And he's going to take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Clemson.
And this QB starting to do some work, man. The big explosive play in the passing game. You get inside the 10, you're thinking run. Everybody thinking run. You back it up with another pass, another great throw, and quickly this offense gets right to the end zone.
And let's check in with Kevin Connors in the studio. Kevin?
No love lost between teams anytime they square off inside the Big Ten. Here's one that's just gone final. Notre Dame went into hostile territory and came away with a convincing victory. The Irish always get everyone's best punch, but today they took that punch and delivered a knockout of their own. No cupcakes this week, fellas. This Big Ten battle was much anticipated, and at least one side can say it's a game they'll savor for some time.
Yeah, how about that? Sounds as if they had a good ball game there, Kevin. Thanks for the update. And this one will be stopped for no gain.
Well, they're just trying to run the ball, but that time there was absolutely nowhere for the running back to go, and as a result, that's a tackle for loss.
Off play action. Sends it downfield. And they can't hook up. Going for the big play on second down. Now it's third down. We'll see if the offense can move the chains after that incompletion. Looking to pass. It's Coleman. Here he goes breaking the pocket. Oh, he loves to fire downfield. And trying to put points on the board on third down. Now they're staring at fourth down.
That is not good news for this offense, guys. I mean, the defense only brought 3 on that play, and they were still able to get after the quarterback. This O-line has got to play better.
And the punt team able to smack him to the ground. This should be the last play of the quarter. wants to go up top on first down. He uncorks a bullet to the right. He's got it along the sideline. He's loose. And he ran away from the defense to take it in. Touchdown, Clemson. These guys are really hitting their stride in week 4 as they push out that lead. And with the extra point, they're up 21-0. We've reached a break. Clemson has the lead. Really strong performance so far to be able to build a lead here in the first period as we look at the stats. They largely dominated the first quarter and built a nice lead to get started. And it'll come out to the 25. No attempt at a return. So after the break, they'll go back to work. Looking downfield on first down. Throws to the wideout. Almost intercepted. It'll fall incomplete. The defense almost came up with a turnover.
I don't know if anybody saw this happening. He's 0 for 6 to start the game throwing it. He's just not seeing the field real well. The defense has done a great job in the back end and with their pass rush, making life really hard on him. But they've got no points, and it's not a surprise. I mean, they thought they would be able to find some explosive plays throwing it early. That has not been the case.
And the Razorbacks line up, trying to move the sticks on 3rd and short. That's caught. It's caught. And he's brought down at the 40-yard line, and that'll be a first down.
Well, in that down and distance, the quarterback's got to get rid of it so quickly, right? He knows the defense is going to be bearing down on him, so a nice job catching the gun snap and then turning and pivoting, getting it out of his hands quickly and accurately to pick up the first.
In football, you hear the term quick, but don't hurry. And you could tell when you run these RPOs, the QBs want to make that decision quick. And I think he hurried it a little bit too much. Got the ball out quick, but obviously was inaccurate with his pass.
Plenty of distance between them and the sticks here on 2nd down. Runs through the tackle.
And, man, the big fellas up front, they don't get a lot of credit. They don't get talked about a lot unless it's negative, but they're the big component, man. They've got to get some push, to get some running lanes, get this running game going. They're the ones that make it go.
3rd and long from the 42. If they can get some of it, it might give them a chance to go for it on 4th down. Makes the grab. Oh, he's got some space. Boy, did he look as if he was going to go. Gets it down to the 37.
Well, look, that wasn't a touchdown, but that was a massive play for this offense. They needed some momentum. They needed to find a rhythm, and what better way than converting on 3rd down. Awesome job by the quarterback getting through his progression.
Makes a stop in the backfield. He'll lose 4.
They're trying to run the football, and there's just nowhere to go for the ball carrier inside. He tried to bounce it to the outside. That linebacker way too fast. He met him there and forced the TFL.
Keeps it on the draw. Not much running room there thanks to this senior defender.
Well, they try to go quarterback design run on that play, but the defense just not buying it. Nice job, everybody playing downhill and making a tackle close to the line of scrimmage.
On 3rd and long, he's going to have to turn one loose downfield. And he dropped it, just didn't look the thing all the way in.
That's why it's so important for this defense to win 1st and 2nd down. You set up 3rd and longs like that, you can show your exotic looks, you can get the pass rush going, everybody in the back end expecting throw, and that's how you force incompletions and force 4th downs.
Time to take a shot. Can't complete the long throw, and the defense gets off the field on 4th down.
Great coverage on that 4th down play. Nice job blanketing the receiver out wide. The defense, you could tell, they knew they were going for it. They had a game plan. They get the big stop and turn it over to their offense.
Might be calling a hot route. Lewis to throw. And that one had some juice on it, but it's incomplete. Behind the chains now on 2nd and long. After the incompletion, back to the passing game. He'll pull it down and run. Nifty little scamper on this one. Enough for the 1st down, and he slides in safely. Clemson is quick to the line.
Nice job by the QB, sitting back in the pocket. You can tell he wants to throw the football, go through.
Turning it on. Brought down at the 32-yard line. Picks up 15 yards on the play and an important first down.
Really nice run there. This guy's so exciting to watch when he's out in the open field. Kind of reminds me of old Clemson greats like C.J. Spiller and Travis Etienne. When they got into the second level, you just held your breath because you thought there was a chance they could break it off for a touchdown. This guy has that same dynamic playmaking ability.
And his throw is incomplete.
Yeah, I don't know if the quarterback got confused on first down. He might have thought the defense was going to be in man coverage that time, but they were in zone. They fooled him and just didn't seem like he had his eyes in the right place, was forcing that ball to his intended target. The window way too small. The guy was not open, so that didn't have that chance to be complete.
They'll finally get him stopped at the 1-yard line. What a run there. Here's the snap, looking to throw. And he'll step into the end zone. Touchdown, Tigers.
And this crowd was already jacked up. They were already excited. They were already making a difference in this football game, and the offense continues to pile on and give them something to cheer about. 27-0 here in the first half. This has been all home team.
The kickoff bounces through the end zone. They'll bring it out to the 25. No reason to be in a big rush. They have some time here late in the half. Power football with the run. We've reached the 2-minute timeout, and a score on this drive would do wonders for their confidence. Plenty of work to do here on 2nd and long. Looking to throw, it's Coleman. He lets it fly. Oh, he dropped it. That deep ball was right on the money. You just have to make that catch.
Well, on defense, they know that this offense is going to try and take shots. They're going to try and keep their secondary players in a position to make these types of plays. Good job on the back end forcing that incompletion.
Oh, they really could have used that catch there. Physical pass defense. It brings up a 4th down.
This is a point where you just got to be able to focus. And the critical down and distances in this game, like that 3rd down right there, when it's a good throw, you got to make the catch. You've got to be able to make that play.
Pocket breaking down. Unloaded just as he throws. It's incomplete, and they stop him on 4th down.
It's really early in the game right now, and if it's 4th and short, 4th and medium, maybe I see going for it, certainly. But 4th and long, that's a situation I think you got to punt and just let the game play out. Trust your defense a little bit more.
Plenty of time left in the half here as they take over, but they will want to be efficient here in the final 2 minutes. Hauls it in. The ball is down at the 14 after that grab. Clemson jumps to the line. Wants to throw on 1st down. Quarterback strolling away from Heath. Pressure in his face, and he lets it fly. Nobody open. He just throws it away, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
Yeah, and this defense hadn't had a lot of success. This offense has been doing what it wants at will. Finally getting to the QB, finally getting some pressure, finally getting a big hit on him. That'll pay some dividends down the road.
Looking to fire. And that pass will be jarred loose on 2nd down. That brings up 3rd down.
Well, they were trying to sneak him out of the backfield that time into the passing game, but that did not fool anybody on defense. What a hit, forcing that incompletion.
Now facing a 3rd and long. Wants to throw again. Fires to the end zone. And he's got it. Touchdown, Tigers.
And it's so underrated. The relationship between a QB and a wide receiver, the timing, the ability to know where he's going to be and be accurate with the football, that's what leads to nice touchdowns, Jesse.
Well, and the chemistry between these two guys has to be great when you're throwing into the end zone because coverage is going to be tight. The throw might not be perfect, but this is something these two guys have been repping in practice over and over and over, and it's paying dividends now in games.
Not nearly as much as he had hoped when he brought it out of the end zone. He'll be stopped at the 15. Plenty of time to work, not any time to waste as they take over here in the final 2 minutes of the half. From the gun, running back on the move. Finds just enough daylight to work his way up to the 19-yard line.
And I kind of like how the running back didn't mess around. Like, just get downhill when you see an opening. A lot of times they close so fast, man. Be decisive, stick your foot in the ground, pick up 3 to 4, and we are not going to complain.
That's caught. It's Cooks. And the defense able to drag him down, but not before they'll recycle that down marker.
Well, it's a nice play design there. You're getting the running back involved in the pass game. Quarterback gives it to him early so he can go to work upfield and get the first down.
They'll snap it from the 26 on first down. Wide receiver going in motion. Wants to throw on first down off the play fake. Now adjusting. Throwing on the run. Oh, he had it. The deep ball was there, and it just trickled through his fingers.
And there's not very many offensive plays that are going to be successful. If you can rush 3 guys and still get to the quarterback, that's not a good sign for this offensive line.
What will they dial up on second and a long way to go? They'll move the wide receiver. A designed run for the quarterback. Now after that run, they're in pretty good shape at the 30-yard line. After the last run, would you just give it to him again on third down? Back in motion, try to clear the picture. Back to throw, it's Coleman. Trying to burn this defensive back. The pass is incomplete, and the clock will stop with 5 seconds left.
It's a nice job by the receiver working past the sticks. Looked like it was going to be a first down by the offense, but how about the physical play knocking that ball loose?
On fourth down, he'll try to toss it. Trying to get rid of it. The pass falls incomplete, and that's how we'll finish this half. We've played 2 quarters here. Time to go to Kevin Connors in our halftime update. Ready to start the second half, and Clemson will kick it away. He'll bring it out. It's Brown. He only needs a sliver of daylight. He is electric in the return game, and that one has the offense set up nicely. Off-play action on first down. Just a short pass to the tight end. There's not a lot more beautiful in football than the play action and the open tight end.
Because it freezes those linebackers. It freezes those safeties because they have to come up for a second and play the run. And then the big tight ends, big targets on the back end can catch the football and make big plays.
Big pickup on the ground here to keep this drive moving and give them a first down.
Definitely been tough sledding for this guy, especially in the first half. They gave him the ball a bunch, but they just don't have a ton of yards on the ground to show for it at this point. That looked like a pretty good run, though. You just wonder maybe in the second half, if they keep giving him the football, it may start paying some dividends.
That's what I'm talking about. That is how you close. And when a guy's going to make a catch, you make sure he doesn't make it. Physicality, using your pads, running through them. And guess what? Not only this play does he feel it, next time he tries to go over the middle or feels footsteps, this will pay dividends.
Well, obviously a really nice play by the defense there stopping the option, but I think that's on the quarterback because it looked like his pitch option was wide open. That ball should have gone to the running back out on the perimeter. It looked like he had some open field in front of him to go make something positive happen. This quarterback's got to make better decisions. It's not just the passing game. It's in the run game with the option, too.
Into the end zone. Oh, it's picked off. Oh, that's not the way to start a drive. And they'll drag him down after a good return on the interception.
And he can fill up the hand now with that pick, man. That's number 5 on the season, consistently making plays for his defense. Always a guy where we're going to be calling his name over and over again.
Lets it fly. Makes the catch down the right side. Breaks into the open. A huge gain on that one before he ran out of bounds, and he has the first down.
You know, there's a lot of communication when it comes to defenses. Like, you have to talk. You have to understand if somebody does this, I have to do this. I have to pass off wide receivers. Apparently, the communication was busted.
Can't make the grab as he was looking for his man right at the goal line.
Yeah, and I don't know what happened. He didn't look open as it is, and the QB's trying to make a play, trying to force the ball, but at least he threw it where his guy could catch it or nobody could catch it.
The play action fake. Extending the play. Going for 6. Touchdown, Tigers. Grabbed in the end zone to put 6 on the board. Like a Thanksgiving turkey. They're just being carved. No shot. They have no idea how to get in this quarterback's head.
He's on fire. Everything he's doing is working defensively. We got to figure something out. We got to try to do something a little bit different. Bring more pressure. At this rate, shoot, he's on so much fire, you might as well just send everybody. Blitz everybody, live with the results, because everything else ain't working anyways.
And Arkansas ready to send out this offense. That last drive was a punch in the gut, throwing the pick in the red zone, Jesse.
Yeah, it just seemed like there was some miscommunication down there in the red zone. David, this drive, the QB and receivers just have to do a better job being on the same page.
Yeah, and I think you pull the positives, right? We moved the football down the field. We had a chance to score, but we can't let those opportunities slip between our hands. Let's go get some points.
Last incompletion leaves them still sitting at their own 25 with 2nd and 10. To the air, it's Coleman. Gets it out quickly. And he'll step out of bounds after a very productive play.
And a really nice job by the wide receiver. You run a drag route, find space. They're in zone coverage. They're not covering man-to-man. Find a little hole. Look at that QB. Y'all get on the same page. You could tell they were, and that's why they got the first down.
Pressure coming. Takes a shot as he lets it go. And they wanted it all on 3rd down, but now dealing with 4th down.
This offense has had some struggles early in this game so far. They're just trying to get something going, and so you take a shot. You try to find your best one-on-one matchup and see if they can make a play. The defense was ready for it. Good coverage on the back end. They look very prepared. All 11 guys on defense right now playing together as one.
That's a gutsy call, and I know the analytics world says to go for it more often, but when you're in your own territory and now you turn the football over to the other team, points are so much easier to get. Obviously, I know, Jesse, it didn't take a color commentator to figure that out.
He rifles one deep down the middle. And into the end zone he goes. Touchdown, Clemson. They'll try to add another to their lead. If these guys wanted to make a statement, statement has been delivered.
It's your job to stop. Oh, don't run the score up. Well, do something about it. The defense has to step up and make plays. Obviously, they're not willing to do that, so just keep running plays and keep scoring.
And he'll just take a knee, and this drive will start at the 25. The Hogs send that offense back onto the field. That 4th down gamble didn't pay off on the last drive, and it led to giving up a scoring drive, David.
Yeah, and everybody wants to go for it on 4th down. Everybody wants that, but your defense sometimes has to bail out your decision-making. We decided to go for it. We didn't get it. The defense, Jesse, didn't come up big and prove me right.
Yeah, not complimentary football, no doubt. But look, this offense has been in these situations before, so you got to come back out here, take the...
Pulls it in down the sideline. They get him out of bounds. Couple of yards short of midfield. They'll mark it at the 48, and this offense is rolling. Here they come, 1st and 10 from the 48. To the air, it's Coleman. Now rolling to the left. And he's left with no option but to throw it away.
A nice job by the quarterback there. You're outside the pocket, nobody's open, so you throw the ball away knowing that you still have more chances to get this first down.
They're dealing with a 2nd and long. Throws to the tight end. Finds a man on the left. They've got the defense reeling right now with that big play to the 29.
I know the offense is down by a lot here in the second half. You just need one big play, though, to spark the offense, get the confidence going, and they may have found it right there in that completion. Good throw, good catch. Now we got to keep it going.
We've seen a ton of this tonight. They just keep giving him the ball, and he keeps running into brick walls. Not much running room again.
Man, not much wiggle room for the ball carrier there.
I'm not really sure what they can do to try to create some space.
I know. Block better. How about the offensive lineman push some guy backwards and make some holes?
They'll go to work in the air on 2nd down. Lets it fly deep downfield. And it goes through his hands. Oh, he had an explosive play right there for the taking, but couldn't reel it in. It's a makeable field goal from the 29-yard line. Let's see how aggressive they are on 3rd and long. Stopped in the backfield. He's going to lose 3 yards on the play.
And it's been a surprise today for this offense. Like, coming into the game, we all talked about it. We thought they'd be able to run against this defense that's been run on a lot, and this offense just can't get the running game going. Be interested to see what they do to try to change it up, but somehow, some way, they need that physical ground game.
Got his man to the left. That'll be enough for the 1st down, and now they've got it at the 15-yard line.
Well, to heck with being conservative, right? I mean, that essentially would have just been a chip shot field goal with where they were on that 4th down, but they decide to go for it, throw it. They're looking for 6. They're going for a touchdown. They are being aggressive.
From the red zone, looking for a man. Here comes the rush, and they've got him wrapped up at the 28.
This defense continues to do a great job of not letting a great athlete at quarterback make big plays on them. Great job pursuing him, keeping him in that cage, not letting him get out in the open field because we know he can do some damage. Nice job by this defense so far.
Well, this quarterback has struggled, having already thrown 2 picks. That should have been number 3. Somehow the defender dropped that one. Things not going well for this Q.
On 3rd and long, you'll have to turn it loose deep. And the defense gets home and makes a play at the 37-yard line.
I got to be honest, I don't know if I've ever seen a defense contain this quarterback the way this defense has in this game today. Multiple sacks. They have been so disruptive. Multiple guys up front winning their one-on-ones. And you got to give the D coordinator a ton of credit. He has dialed up the perfect plays in the perfect moments, and they have made this guy's life a living nightmare today.
On 4th down, they're taking to the air. Takes a hit as he fires. It's incomplete, and they'll turn it over on downs.
Well, they're unable to come up with that one on 4th down, and I remember this as a player. You practice specific plays on 4th down for those types of situations, and you know all week against the scout team, they've gotten really clean looks, easy to execute against. They didn't get a clean look that time, so you chalk it up to the defense and take note of it next time. You might not run that play again if you're in a similar situation.
And he gets out of there and gets some yardage and gets down without taking any punishment.
Really nice job on the scramble that time. He saw an opening, he went out and got the 1st down with his legs. He's killing this defense right now, throwing it. He's now doing it running as well. Anything this guy wants to do is working.
He's got him wide open. And he'll go down, but not before the big pickup and the 1st down. We've come to the end of the quarter, and Clemson has the lead. And it hasn't been much of a contest as we take a look at the overwhelming game stats through 3.